right, so let's talk a little bit about our products. And then I'm going to see if I can get Mary in here to talk a little bit about the underwriting process, and actually more about, I want her to talk to you guys. She's obviously handles human resources, about how do you get paid? What do you got to do? What's the next step? So let's talk a little bit about our products. Okay, so one thing that our marketing program does not do is text message at this time. Companies have to pay for that. We want to keep the cost down for the merchant. We don't think it's necessary. So there's two ways that our marketing program can reach out to customers. One is through their email. Okay, so that's why the SpotOn Point, right, and our register, they collect email addresses. We can also upload their email address if they have like constant contact or they have it on a spreadsheet, and we can reach out to people that way. And of course, the second is that nice app that I showed you earlier on my phone. They should be encouraging everybody that comes in to sign up for the SpotOn app, and then they will get push notifications to the app when there's specials or marketing promos. But we do not do text marketing at this time. Okay, our review management, it does a lot of the top review sites. It does not do Instagram at this time. It does not do Open Table, but pretty much everything else is a go. Yelp and Yahoo and Facebook and all of those things. Google, really, really important that you've got that information. Okay, so again, if you've got that app downloaded, which I encourage you to have that thing like totally dialed in. Okay, if you've got that app downloaded, you'll see what I'm talking about. You can see all the review sites that we cover. The next thing is, what does our marketing piece do? How many different approaches are there? And there's two. One is spots by visit, which I encourage you to use with those places that are using punch cards right now. Great for example, places that are a coffee shop, right? So they're punching, hey, how would you like to turn that into a digital program, make it much easier? You don't have theft. You don't have your employees giving people fake punches, all of that stuff. I'm pretty old, but I don't know if you remember the Subway used to be able to get those little yellow stickers, right? And you put them on a Subway card and you get enough yellow stickers, you get a free sub. I remember guys working at those places and they would like populate hundreds of those cards and then hand them out to you for $2, each, and make a boatload of money. Total theft, right? There's no difference with a punch card today. I mean, if you have a rogue employee that likes somebody or has a friend coming in all the time, what's to stop them from giving them 3-4 extra punches so they can get to that free latte that much quicker? Okay, the digital program is not going to allow that. So that alone is a selling feature. So whenever you see a punch card, that's a perfect place to sell spots by visit. Spots by dollar would be a company that, like we have a store, etc., right? She sells all sorts of cool stuff, pictures and candles and anything you can imagine, women's clothing. And she does a thing every $500 you spend, you get a custom gift bag, right? And she puts different goodies in there. So that would be a spots by dollar. And we can set it up either way. So it'll automatically trigger when they get to that dollar amount, give them their reward. Same thing with the spots by visit. You can set that up for 5 visits, 10, 20, whatever you want to do. Boom, they hit that 10th visit. It's going to notify them that they're eligible. It's also going to let the business owner know. So those are the two ways that we can do that. Our appointment setting software is another really cool product that, again, I would like you to get certified on once you've got this down. It has its own certification. One of the coolest things about it is it sends reminders out to the person before their appointment. So again, it's nice to have, right? How many of us have forgotten about an appointment that we made? The reminder's nice. Online ordering through our POS system, yes, we offer that. Online ordering is a separate app that can be made, but only through our restaurant POS. Our Point does not handle that software. Okay. What business type is SpotOn Register best for? Any boutique, small retail shop, it's perfect for. Okay. If it's a restaurant, you need to focus on the restaurant POS. But the small boutiques are great with the register. It's an awesome system. Again, separate certification, so keep that in mind. If you pass this test, which, I mean, honestly, this should be a no-brainer for you guys now, okay, after going through all this stuff. You're going to have great success in this business. I'm telling you, you should probably watch this video a few times because you're going to pick up things each time. Skip through the boring parts, skip through my boring stories, but get to the meat and potatoes. I'm telling you, we're all here to help you and all here to help you grow. So let's see if I can get Mary in here now.
Hello, everybody. So I'm Mary Navarez, HR Office Manager here at SpotOn. You'll probably see my name on your HR paperwork, and that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. You will receive a big packet. It's an HR paperwork. It will include your offer letter, your compensation plan. We also have some standard paperwork. It's a lot, but they're pretty standard. The main paperwork that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and very, very important, is the I-9 form. It's the employment eligibility verification, which I'm pretty sure if you've been a W-2 employee, you have filled this out. The difference is most likely your HR person was there to fill out page 2 of the I-9 form, which obviously I can't be where you guys are. So we're relying on an agent to fill out page 2 of the I-9 form for us, and the agent authorization form. And you guys are probably wondering, what's an agent? An agent could be anybody you know, as long as they're willing to verify your documents for you and sign page 2 of the I-9 form and the employment eligibility verification. It could be anybody, as long as they're 18 and over. Pretty much, I guess you would say, filling this out on my behalf, because again, I'm not there to physically verify your documents. So documents being Social Security card, driver's license, valid U.S. passport, things like that. And there's also a list, page 3 of the I-9 form, that will be included in the packet. And if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to give myself a call or Andrea. You'll also meet Andrea or see her name in the emails. So once we've received your information and everything's complete, then we process your payroll. We have a cutoff of 3 p.m. So we run payroll every single day, and the cutoff is at 3 p.m. Pacific time. If you have an account, it's approved, and we have all of your paperwork good to go, we'll add you in Namely. Namely is the HR platform that we use for payroll, pretty much. We pay you. You get your pay the next day. A few things to look out for. First one is an invitation to Namely. Again, that's the HR platform that we use. That's where you can see your pay stubs, your future W-2s. You can change your address, and another email is from eCentral. eCentral is where you can make your health benefits elections. So just so you know, if you're a full-time employee, your effective date for health benefits is the first of the month after 60 days of employment. So just an example, you were hired today, January 30th, your effective date will be April 1st. And eCentral is a really easy, friendly to use system, which will include, the benefit summary. It'll calculate the cost, how much you'll pay for the month. And yeah, I think all the information should be on there. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to call me or email me, hr@spoton.com. And another thing is we order business cards for you guys. So once you flip and you submit your first deal and it's approved, we assign you a SpotOn email address. You will receive an email, pretty much instructions on how to get to that, and just make sure to set that up as soon as possible, as all of the communications and things like that will go to that SpotOn email address. And I mean, that's basically it. So there's namely eCentral, HR paperwork, the I-9, agent authorization form, SpotOn email address, and if if you have any questions, feel free to call me. I'm at 415-306-9502, or you can reach me at hr@spoton.com. Thank you. I'll call Misha back, and he'll be right in.
I want to leave you in a better place than when we started this a few hours ago, right? And hopefully you've picked up a lot of cool stuff that you'll be able to use. Again, I encourage you highly to get on these calls with people because they care about you and they care about your success. So what is the job? The job's real simple. Get out, make friends, talk to people, share our product, share what we do, get on my sales training calls and learn some approaches for core and for payment processing. They're easy. They work great. Your first line's only as good as your second or third. I'm sure all of you are intelligent humans, right? I'll give you the way in. You take it from there. It's about conversation. We talked about Donnie Jones a little bit earlier. Conversation guy. He goes in and he has conversations. He never worries about the money. He never thinks about the money. He thinks about, how do I make this merchant's life easier? And if you're thinking that way, you're going to be successful. If you're thinking about how much money you're going to make, you're not. Okay? The 4 Ds we talked about, make sure you remember those. How to use the spot, okay? Use the spot for different tools. The biggest thing is as a reference guide, right? Videos, information. 2 is using it as your portal to put in your data, put in your prospects. The better you do at that, the better you're going to do down the road, because you're going to forget. You're going to forget. You're going to talk to 10, 15 people today, and by next week, you're going to forget who you even talked to if you don't have the notes, okay? Number 3 is our products, our service, and our rates, right? Anybody can match up on rates. We talked about interchange. We all buy from the same source. That doesn't make us any different. What makes us different is that we are transparent. We don't have fees, okay, on the credit card side and our products. Our marketing and our review management, remember, are included in our core fee along with that free PAX terminal. All right, that's a tremendous value for our merchants. The app, also free, okay? And planning for success. If you're getting up on a Monday morning, people, and you don't have your week already laid out, you're already behind the 8 ball of the producers, okay? The guys that are kicking butt, they've got that crap figured out on a Sunday night, okay? They're not sitting there trying to figure out on a Monday morning what they're going to do. So I encourage you highly to have an action plan. Download my sheet that will take you from the big picture, I want to make $100,000 a year, down to what does that mean for me daily? What do I need to do daily to hit that goal? Okay? One at a time, right? I was just out watching one of my daughter's volleyball games this weekend, and they were way, way down, 15-9, right? Volleyball goes up to 25 for those of you that don't know. And their coach just kept saying, 1 point at a time, 1 point at a time. Okay? And they came back and won. They didn't think that they were down 6. They just went 1 at a time. Same thing for you. Don't think about the $100,000. That's going to seem impossible. It's going to seem unrealistic, especially if you've never made that in your life before. If you've never made that, it's going to seem like it can't happen. But it can, 1 sale at a time. Okay? And that's what my sheet does for you. It breaks it down. And then if that's too aggressive, if you look at it and you go, wow, I got to do this many sales every month to hit that, then maybe knock it down a little bit. Maybe shoot for 50 grand or 60 or 70 your first year. All right. It's got to be realistic, but you should be stretching for that goal. Sales playbook. Okay. Cold calling. Number one should be 75% of your time. I teach a really simple system. It's called 4 cities. Okay. You should be going to 4 cities, 7,500 to 40,000 people. You should be doing that Monday through Thursday, and Friday should be your office day. That's where you send out your emails, you do your follow-ups, you do your calls, you reach out to your merchants, you go to your networking events. And it doesn't have to be Monday through Thursday and then Friday. What I'm saying is 4 days a week right now. Being a newbie, you want to be out in front of customers. If you don't have a solid pipeline, after a month, you should have 100 people in your pipeline, 100 possible merchants to talk to. If you're not doing that, you're way behind the 8 ball, and that's not even a lot of people. Okay, that's what is that? 25 a week, 5 a day. Okay, that are in your pipeline. Okay, so follow-ups are key. All right, remember we talked about though, 70% are going to close on their first deal. You got them at their peak on that first appointment. All right, 23% second appointment. A lot of those are maybe appointment setting software, or maybe it's a restaurant POS and we've got to do a demo. So there's some thought process. Or maybe it's a bigger company, right? Maybe they have 3 or 4 restaurants. But if you're getting blown off more than that, in Minnesota, called Minnesota nice, people would rather just tell you to come back than be honest with you. That's called a blow off. And that's called you're going to be chasing deals. There's only 4 true objections, which we talk about on my call tomorrow and also on our objection podcast. But basically they're this, really simple. Money, they don't trust or like the salesperson. They don't trust or like the company. And the 4th is an intangible. So that's something like behind the scenes, right? Like maybe they're selling the company. They don't want anybody to know, right? Or their brother-in-law does the processing. They owe them some huge debt, whatever. Those are that's usually the hardest objection to overcome because merchants aren't going to be real transparent about it. But the rest of the stuff you're hearing out there, they're just smoke screens. They're BS. They're a way to get you out the door. They're a way to not make you feel bad. People have a natural tendency to not want to make you feel bad. So they will tell you to come back. And meanwhile, you're chasing. You're spending 50% of your time chasing that 7% of business. Okay? Referrals. How do we get referrals? Real easy. We go and set up our merchants properly. That's how we get referrals. It's really that simple. And 4th is networking. Don't start with networking. I've got people doing that. They're all over Facebook. They're all over Twitter. They've got marketing everywhere. Okay. Does it work? Yes, over time. But it doesn't springboard you into a bunch of deals. There's no holy grail, just like there's no perfect territory. You don't just drive around and find the perfect place that no other processors ever been to. It doesn't work. You need to get out there and make it happen. No one's going to do it for you. We're all here to support you. You're the one that has to do it. So how do we start a conversation? Simple. Ask open-ended questions. Do not walk in and say, who does your credit card processing? Because every other person in the world is doing that. You need to be a little more unique than that. Okay? If you're going in on payments, you could talk about PCI compliance if they have a non-PCI compliant terminal, and even just a different verbiage and credit card processing. If you just say merchant services, most business owners don't know what that means. It creates a dialogue. Because remember, when you walk into a business, they have the power. You're the person coming in. You're disrupting their day, right? They're probably already a little bit agitated. They definitely have sales resistance. And the only way to change that dynamic is to take the power away from the merchant. And the way we do that is by asking them questions that they don't know the answer to. And one of those is, who handles your merchant services? A lot of people don't know what that means. Well, I'm good. I'm taken care of. You know what? We've looked at it a million times. Nobody can ever save us any money. We're totally taken care of. Great. You know, I hear that a lot. That's awesome. Are you currently on an interchange plan or a hybrid plan? What have I just done there? I've completely switched that conversation around. Because guess what they don't know? They don't know what interchange is. 98% of the time. They don't know what a hybrid plan is. And then bail them out. Well, like, do you have a lot of different rates on your statement, or do you have just a few? Well, I got a lot. Okay, then you're probably on an interchange plan. What is your current effective rate? Okay. Create dialogue, create a conversation, ask open-ended questions, the why, the what, how. Don't ask close-ended questions that they can answer yes or no. People always ask me about closing. Always ask me about closing. And here's the thing. If you're good at this business, you don't need to close anybody. I rarely ever close a single merchant. You know what usually happens? We get to the end of the presentation, they look at me and they say, what do we got to do to get started? Or, sounds good. And I pull the paperwork out and we start filling it out. Sometimes they have questions, not objections, questions. If they have true objections, I deal with them at that time. Usually they're about liking me, trusting me, or not understanding really what SpotOn does. And again, easily overcome with some more conversation, more questions, making them feel comfortable that you know what you're talking about, which is the whole point of this exercise, this certification. So you're not sitting out there, deer in the headlights, not knowing what to say, okay? The conversation needs to be fluid, it needs to be open. You need to be truly listening to the person that you're talking to. You need to mirror them, their approach, their attitude, their voice, the speed, all of that. People buy from who they like and trust, okay? And I talk about this on my objection call, but I'm going to leave you with this. Dale Carnegie, famous writer and trainer, wrote a great book called How to Win Friends and Influence People, which all of you should read. I do believe it's on Audible as well. But one of the things he talks about in that book is if you were to step off an elevator into a room of 100 people, 10 of those people would instantly like you, 10 would instantly dislike you, and the other 80 would be ambivalent. You can't do anything about the 10 that don't like you. And you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you walk into a room, a party, whatever, a business, and you just, right away, that person doesn't gel with you. I can send 2 salespeople into the exact same business owner within a few minutes apart, and they get totally different reactions. Why is that? It's because we have a natural tendency to sometimes like or dislike somebody. And we don't really even know why, right? But the key to the successful salesperson is a person that can do something with the other 80. Take that other 80 and turn those into deals. And that's the people that you need to gel with. Those are the people that are going to make a decision based on your presentation and you in that conversation. That deal I talked about earlier, Outdoor Ventures, 2.5 hours I was there. It was a cold call. I came back because of the business cards. And then we talked for 2.5 hours. I walked out of there with that store, his toy store, and I also got the business next door because I got him signed up. So 3 businesses, almost $200,000 a month in processing from that one cold call. All right. So I really appreciate your time. I'm not going to spend any more time on this right now because I want you to focus on now putting your action plan together. Your next step should be take that certification test. You're going to pass that with flying colors. I know you will if you've been taking notes during this call. Number 2 is put your action plan together. Create that list of FF&Rs. Call your regional or your sales director right away tomorrow morning. Get that conversation started. Get out there and make it happen. Happy selling. Thanks for joining me today. Have a great day.